on, everybody? This is Matt Does Fitness, and I was chatting to a police officer yesterday, and he told me he had just arrested a guy for pickpocketing a midget. Can't believe someone could stoop that low. Okay, this is deadlifts, back and bicep day. Now, I kind of continued in a similar vein, insofar as I was massively focused on my technique, and again, it worked really well. The session was 3 sets of 3. Again, I upped the weight from last time. I actually upped it by 5 kilos, so like 11 pounds, which was a bit of a jump, and I was a little bit concerned that whether my form would hold out, because even though weight-wise it's not massive, in terms of doing it with strict form, this is like comfortably the most I've ever done. But it held together really well, and I am absolutely delighted. The only thing I did a tiny bit on this first set, you'll see here, is my hips come up just fractionally before I kind of really initiate the lift. But that's less of a technical issue. I think that's more to do with my setup. I'm still kind of trying to establish like where to set up, how high to start with my hips. So on the second set, I tried to correct it by just starting with them a little bit higher. And I'd say my form was pretty much perfect. I'm really pleased with it. You see here, my back is dead straight as I come up. My arms are locked out. Obviously my head's up. I've said that before, but I'm doing that deliberately because it kind of helps me keep my chest up, which is, I think, better overall for my deadlift. But yeah, as a whole, I'm really, really happy with how it's looking. It's like, compared to my old form up until about a month ago, it is like chalk and cheese. So it's brilliant. Yeah, like I said, so I went for 419 pounds, 190 kilos, which is, I mean, it's a decent weight. Like I said, it's not huge, but it's kind of respectable. But the main thing is that I'm now starting to ramp up the weight, and I'm keeping my form together, which is, I mean, there was a point I got to recently where I thought it was never going to happen because my form was just consistently bad when I got heavy. But today is kind of 2 sessions in a row now where my form has been really, really strong and the weight's been relatively high. So I think it bodes well. I then did some deficit work, so I did again 3 sets of 3 it's 2 plates I'm standing on, so it's probably about a 3-inch deficit. I did 170 kilos, which is 375 pounds. And again, even though it's conventional, my form still feels really solid. I know the weight's lighter, but still with conventional, I do find it slightly harder to hold my technique together, but it felt really strong there. And I've got into a nice routine now where I'm deadlifting twice a week, and I do my 3 sets of sumo followed by 3 sets of conventional deficit. The sumo is the priority because that is what I'm using for my lifts properly, but the deficit work, I'm doing it conventional because obviously it's easy to stand on a plate conventional in a conventional style, and also it's good to do a mix of both. Anyway, moving on, I finally got my penalty row form nailed down, I think. I did 3 sets of about 10 down to about 8 reps of these. You see here, I think this is my 3rd set. So the form did kind of wane a little bit, but it felt pretty solid. I then moved on to some seated cable rows. I'm kind of, I do use a chair for these sometimes, but because the cable isn't particularly long, I end up sometimes kind of pulling the weight up and it hits the top before I get a full range. So here I'm lying on the floor. I'm trying with these. I've been trying recently just to try and like maintain thoracic extension the whole time, because I went for a phase where I was like letting my arms completely, like my shoulders kind of flop in front of me and relax before I started the rep. But with my deadlift, one of the issues I was having is that I feel like my upper back isn't strong enough, not tight enough. So I'm trying to maintain that tightness in my upper back the whole time, just to kind of, I don't know, just drill it into me, I think. So I did 3 sets of about 12 reps on that last row, and then I just moved, I knelt down and did it more like a lat pull down with a bit of it's obviously a closer grip. And again, I did 3 sets of about 12 of these. And again, even on these, I'm trying to really maintain, just kind of squeezing my scapula together and trying to maintain that really tight, like thoracic position. And then I finished the session in pretty bizarre lighting. Basically, when the sun shines in through here, obviously it's pretty awkward to film. It's perfectly lit in the gym, but you can't see that because the sun is glaring all over the camera. I did 4 sets of, I think, about 12 reps here. I split the reps into halves because otherwise I start doing cheat reps. And that was my session. So, in summary, I'm very pleased with my deadlift form. It's going really well. It feels much more solid than it has before. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, as always, and I'll see you tomorrow.